My world is 100 blocks wide, and it was saved by these villagers. But here's the thing, they're going to do it again. I do not know how I'm going to get down here. There we go, that was the quickest intro on this channel. So yes, these villagers are saving my world twice. And if you want to know how they did it the first time, episode 3. So how are they saving it again? Well, it is because these wonderful, kind of useless long-nosed people, they're going to get us to the end. But not only that, they are going to provide us with what we need to, you know, survive. And the way they're going to do that is by exploiting them for some wonderful free labor. And this is going to come in the form of a trade farm. And we are going to use these villagers to trade for everything we need. We're going to have armor, we're going to have tools, hopefully. But most importantly of all, the ender pearls that we need to light this portal. So yeah, they're pretty valuable. Now, of course, trade farms can be set up quite easily. The problem is getting an efficient one. Because, of course, normally if you have a trade farm, you convert them back from zombie villagers. And that gives you cheaper trades. There's one slight problem, though, which is the fact that in this world, which is actually not quite 100 blocks wide, it is a real struggle to cure these guys. Again, episode 3. Meaning, we're gonna be inefficient. But luckily for you, none of that is seen on camera. You don't know my struggles. And of course, whilst I could put this trading farm up on the surface where it would be easy, I don't want these guys dying. So we're gonna dig out a nice hole. And that hole is now dug out. And I will be the first to admit, it does not look that great down here. It's not very pretty. But of course, it doesn't need to. We only need around like 8 villagers maybe to get a decent trade farm. So there's no point in spending too long on it, especially since we're just gonna trade for some items and then leave. Like there's literally no point in making it look like the prettiest thing on earth. For now though, what I do need to work out is how I'm going to transport these guys over there, which at first doesn't sound difficult. Like, of course, you know, you just put down some rails, you get a minecart, you send the villagers into the hole. Except the problem is, in this world, like, of course, resources are scarce, and because of caves getting cut off by the border, you can't really access what is here easily, which means I am not entirely willing to spend a bunch of iron on a small railway just to move some villagers. So we're gonna find a different method, and it's a very basic method. It's literally just getting them to walk. So there we go, a netherrack tunnel with some bread. We'll let you guys out, and go on guys, get walking. So go on mate, down the stairs, follow the bread trail, and yep, just, oh no, yes, thank you. And that is 1. That's 2. There's 3. Number 4. Numero 5. 6. 7.
Wiejski hodowca przestał działać.
And that is 8. I just used the villagers down here to breed them. Yeah, I don't know why that stopped working. Look, they're still doing it. They're still just staring off into the distance. What are they looking at? But anyway, so down here, we now have 8 villagers, which is almost enough. I say almost, and I will explain that later. But so far, we have actually been fairly productive. So I only have 12 emeralds right now, but that's because I have traded away like 90%. Mainly on this villager right here, because I am trying to level up the armorer as much as possible, because that is what helps us survive. Of course, the Fletcher has been getting a lot of sticks traded to him, and I've also leveled up our weaponsmith a bit. And in terms of the toolsmiths here, I haven't done too much. I probably will. But of course, first, I need to get you into place. And there, you're now our new weaponsmith. Oh my god. I have high hopes for this guy. So yeah, now we have all 8 of these villagers put in. But of course, they are useless without their higher trades. Meaning, my good friends, it is finally time for us to start grinding these trades. Or not. Because it turns out these villagers down here are actually a lot more needy than I first thought. And currently, I can only use one trade that can actually give me emeralds. And that is from our first villager, because of course, as you know, this guy can trade sticks for emeralds. The problem with that comes with the fact that after a certain number of trades, he just kind of blocks them, which means I actually can't get that many emeralds at once. So progress is slow. So of course, that brings into question, what is the solution? Well, there's one other villager that will actually give me emeralds, and that is you. Because you have a wonderful trade where you will exchange 4 iron ingots for 1 emerald. And again, that sounds great. Like, what's the problem with that? Iron's easy to come by, we don't really need it for anything because we're already trading for diamonds. There's absolutely no problem. Other than the fact that I have already explained this episode why it's so hard to come by. Meaning, of course, iron is in short supply. I actually only have around 20 pieces in that chest. So how do we fix that? Well, mysteriously, this farm has suddenly started working again. I don't know why, they just decided to breed. Must have had a rough patch in their relationship or something. But what that now means is we have access to a bunch more villagers. And with villagers, we are now provided with the wonderful opportunity for something to be built here, an iron farm. And also, luckily for you guys, because I'm so nice and because it really makes for bad content if I include it, all of the materials are now in here. And yes, we have glass. I don't know why, but for some reason over here, this tiny patch of the world is considered a beach. Again, I don't know why, it just is. And if you do happen to want to build this iron farm, and I highly recommend this one, it's really good. The design is by Wattles, and I will hopefully remember to link it in the description. In fact, that is your guys' challenge today. If I haven't linked it in the description, spam me in the comments so that I remember. So, with all of that said, I think that it is now a wonderful time to build it. Now that was a very short time lapse, and the reason why is because this was a very short build. It did not take long. It actually only took around an hour, and it could have in fact been a lot shorter if this didn't happen. So yeah, it's a cheap build and I do honestly recommend it. If you don't see iron farms as cheating, I definitely recommend this one by Wattles. And yeah, so the way it is supposed to work is every 35 seconds on average, I think it is, an iron golem spawns up there, flows in the water, falls in the lava, and then of course the iron is picked up by the hoppers. However, my one is not quite that efficient. Or in fact, it's not efficient at all, and the reason why is because instead of the golems spawning up there, they actually keep spawning over there. And the problem with that is the fact that then the villagers don't actually spawn another. So as long as the golem that spawns over there lives, they won't spawn one. Luckily though, this should be a fairly simple fix. All we really need to do is get this guy out. So yeah, I'm sorry mate, you just kind of need to go. And then I think what they keep spawning on is this mushroom, so I'm gonna just cut it down. Well, that was quick. I did not know an axe was what you used on mushrooms. So as you can see, our farm is now working. I might hang around up here just to make sure that absolutely none can spawn anywhere else, because that mushroom could be a danger. But honestly, after a while, it should just be fine. Which means that now, finally, we can take this iron and get trading with these villagers. 16 emeralds right there. And the good news is that this world is so small that this farm actually works no matter where you are standing. And it also means that our wonderful toolsmiths down here are finally useful. So let's get to trading. And finally, our trading is done. Kind of. And I say kind of, which I will explain in a second. But as you can see in our hotbar, we have these wonderful diamond tools which we are now going to be using. They're not the best, but they're good. Good for the standards of this Minecraft world, which is very limited in resources. And I could get better, but let's be honest, this video is taking ages to come out. Like, it's already been a pretty long time since the last episode's uploaded, and we still have a bit more to do. Sorry for the long delays. But anyway, down here, you can see the armor that we are going to be using. And again, it's not the best, but it is pretty good. So we have these wonderful boots provided by this villager here. This guy's my favorite. some decent leggings, a decent chest plate, and it's not a great hat. But it's better than the iron armor we have. And again, I could get better, but it's not worth the time. We can survive a dragon fight like this. And that is actually what I am going to move on to next. So, as you remember, I just said kind of. We're kind of done trading. And what I mean by that is we're done trading with the villagers down here. This room is kind of no longer needed. I'm gonna keep them just because they can still give me emeralds, but they're not really necessary for much else. But currently, what we need is one more type of villager. Because if we look in this wonderful chest that I have been storing my valuables in, we have 11 ender pearls. And to go along with that, we also have two blaze rods? I thought we had more blaze rods. We also have 7 blaze rods. Or in other words, we have enough blaze rods, but not enough ender pearls. And there's one villager that can trade it. And I think the perfect candidates for this are going to be you guys. So there we go, we've turned you into a cleric, and clerics can trade ender pearls. And of course, this isn't the only method. We could actually just hunt down an enderman. So now it's just a race between whether it's this guy or an enderman. So let's get trading. And there we go. That took 2 minutes. So let's just trade away a tiny bit more iron, and finally, we have the 12th pearl. Now, I better make sure not to waste this in some sort of stupid situation. That was such a dumb joke, and now I just have to go and get more emeralds. So there we go. Let's get our actual 12th pearl. We'll grab the other 11 and our blaze rods. We'll make our 12 eyes, fill in the portal, and prepare for battle.